So it's Friday, and yeah, just to kickstart the weekend, let's just do a physical practice, just some throwing off the shapes with the dogs. So I hope you're well, and let's start off just lying down, just to get a bit of a warm up. Honey. That's a good boy. So just lie down on the floor, take the knees up, resting on the soles of the feet. Lie back, stretch your spine across the mat and just relax here and just take your hands on your belly. Take the feet wide and drop the knees in towards each other. Just tune in, connecting to the breath, connecting to the physical body. Connecting to your dogs if you have any. Just breathe, allowing the breath to come all the way in and all the way out through the nose. Settling into the natural breath. Just check around the body for any areas that are feeling a bit tense or that you need to move. Just observe the breath, maybe slowing down. Feel the rise and fall of the belly as you inhale and exhale. Just observing the breath, not striving to make anything happen, not judging, not worrying, just allowing the breath to flow naturally. So now start moving gently. So try and move with your breath. So maybe it helps just to count the breath, not judging, not striving, just count the breath. Just see how long each inhale and exhale takes. We're going to start moving, so just gently take the knees, take the feet in a bit closer to the body, maybe take the feet in towards each other or take them just comfortably apart, roll the shoulders. Just going to start moving the knees from side to side, so maybe exhaling to the side. Inhale as you move the knees to the center. Exhale to the other side. And we push down into the low back to massage the low back. Inhale, knees up. And then bring the knees right into the chest, stretching the low back across the mat. I'm going to jump the side now. If I've got room on the mat for these dogs taking over. Just give your knees a little hug. And just start to circle slowly. Massaging the low back in circles. Inhale as you come away. Exhale as your knees come to the chest. And I'm going to exhale in and then turn the knees in the opposite direction. Inhale, exhale. To the center. And we're going to do a movement in 4 parts with 2 full rounds of breath. Right, we don't need to see what's behind you. I'll just make sure I'm in the camera. So we're going to start off lifting the right leg as you inhale. And then you begin to exhale as you draw the knee to the chest and draw the head up towards the knee as you exhale. Pushing down into the body, connecting with the mat. Inhale as you begin to take your head down and lift your legs, your right leg up. Exhale, allowing the right leg just to lower down. And then the left leg, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So things to watch for as you bring your leg up. Exhale, push down into the back of the waist, really switch on these deep core postural muscles and keep the shoulders down, away from the ears, towards the mat. That's your exhale. Inhale, try and get the legs straight. Don't take it up even if you can. Just take it straight and grounding down into the sacrum. That's going to switch on these core muscles again. And then your exhale as you come down, if you feel your low back arching up, if you're losing the connection, then you need to bend this knee a little bit. You bend the knee as much as you need to. Make sure, so your priority is that connection with the low back on the mat. Which I don't know how much you can see from the way. It seems to like my hands at the moment. So let's do a couple more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Pushing down the end. Inhale. Exhale. Exhale. So this would be the back arching up. If that happens, then you've lost the core connection. To be grounding down the whole time, down to the low back. Let's do one more. Inhale, exhale. So observe my shoulders here. This isn't what I want this. So I'm still lifting, but I'm not scrunching. I'm not contracting the front of the chest. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Push down into the back of the waist. Making the core switch on. Exhale. And release the shoulders. One shoulder up. Another shoulder up. Take the knees up. Ground. Release. Whatever way you feel you need to, whatever way you want to. Stretch the legs up. And let's start opening the hips now. So taking the knees out at 2 sort of figures of 8. So you're making a figure of 8. The knees. Exhale, draw the knees up to the chest. Inhale, open the legs out in a circle. So it's a figure of 8. And stretching the legs and the hips. And then take the legs out. Keep them out and just move the legs, the knees in a semicircle. One comes out to the side, the other comes up to the chest. And switch. then try and do a bow and arrow. So if you can, hook your 2 fingers, first and second finger around your big toes, and still have your shoulders nice and flat, your neck nice and relaxed. So you're not kind of like this, then that's fine. Otherwise, take the ankles, take the calves, take the inner thighs, doesn't matter what you take. Imagine you've got a bow and arrow, so you're pulling. Come back round here again. So bow and arrow, this is my right hand, I've got my arrow in my right hand, pulling back, and my bow in my left hand, stretching out. So you may not be able to get this, depending on your flexibility, this may not be accessible, but just take the ankles, take the knee, take the thigh, whatever, it doesn't matter. Come away. Honey. Just push down into the mat. Push the sacrum down into the mat. Nice stretch of the inner thigh on your left leg, and then bring the knees in. Breath here, and then switch. So we're doing the left-handed bow and arrow now. Stretch, push that leg out, nice and strong. Nice and strong, grounding into the sacrum. I want to have this side of the sacrum grounded, so I could get away out to here, but I want to be grounded, so I'm pushing down. And release. Shake out the legs. We're going to do both legs out straight now, so you can stretch. So make sure that your neck and shoulders are nice and relaxed. Grounding down into the low back. Keep breathing and release. Just do whatever you need to do with the windscreen wipers. Knees over to the sides. And then when you're ready, just roll over onto the side. Push yourself up real slow. Head comes up fast. To seated. Do a bit of work on the core for the digestion again. Still bringing in some themes of this digestive fire, which the gut is the main organ of the immune system. It's responsible for the day-to-day run-of-the-mill stuff. The digestive fire, let's work that a little bit more. So imagine, just come to cross-legged for now. Make sure that you're not kind of sitting up all tight and leaning back. If you're kind of like this trying to sit up, then you need to get a block or something underneath your sit bones just to lift you up and open you out and just be comfortable. Okay. Now I want you to imagine you've got a cone in the center of your low back. The apex, the point at the cone at the top is round about where your navel is, your belly button. And it's right inside the center of the spine. Okay, so when you exhale, I want you to pull the lower front part of this cone and pull it up and back towards the apex, and the lower back part of the cone up and forward towards the apex. So inhale, exhale, point the cone right up. And release, inhale. So from the front door, if you can see, if you've got a mirror where you are, you can see yourself on the device. Then you might see as you exhale the shoulders, the torso lift up. That would be normal. If you do, it's a good sign that you'll be doing it properly. So inhale, exhale, lift and point the cone. Inhale, relax. Very cold. That's cold. Inhale. lifting point. So we want to lifting point and then let that go to maybe 50% effort or 30% effort or whatever feels like a reasonable kind of background effort to have. And that background, that's where our starting point is for doing our boat pose. So you've got loads of options with that. I'm going to take you through a few options. And the most important thing is that cone is lifting. So I'll show you first of all, if you lose that core connection, it might look a bit like this. Kind of sinking. Yeah, I think you can see that. If you've got that core connection, then you're lifted. Lift, flop, lift, flop. That's the basic foundation, is that lift. So it doesn't matter whether your legs are out here, your arms are out here or not. This is the foundation that has to be switched on for any of this to make any difference. So let's just start with that lift that cone. And then see if you want to take your hands down. Really, why do you insist on sitting in front of me all the time? He's a guard dog, so maybe he's just guarding me. Maybe just guarding me. You're just such a pest. You are, you're just a complete... okay, sit in front of me here. Sit in front of me here. Come on. I forget what I'm showing you now. Right, so, yeah, lift. Point your cone, lift. And then you might start biting everything. And then you might just lift one leg or, alternate legs lifting. Take the hands and push them down. That helps you to get that lift. So the overall lift. So from here, you might get both legs up, or that might be too much. You might then be able to take the hands behind you, keeping the elbows and the shoulders down. Just hook the hands behind the knees. And then from here, you can start thinking about taking the arms out, thinking about straightening the legs out, and keep that cone lifted. So from here, you think, oh, I'm going to walk, but actually you need that cone to and then cross the legs, knees, move around. Do another round of these. Really good boy. You do another round. And does it say mummy here? No. Trying to block the view on the video. Yes, it's here. So when you're ready, get your cone ready, lifted. Ready for another round again. Just do what you can, but keep that cone lifted. So here's your options. Even just a symbolic lift, so we're not even lifting, that's fine. As long as you're lifting that cone. Maybe alternating the legs, or take both legs up. Maybe hook the knees, lifting the cone. How about this, or this? And then cross your legs the other way. Opposite leg on top and shake out. Release. Around. Checking the time. So we're going to come back to this bow and arrow, this time seated, and see if you can add into your lifting of the cone. So it's I don't know what you would call this. Bow and arrow on a boat, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so see if you can, and if you are struggling with getting the, keeping the shape and the form, and getting the legs straight, that's absolutely fine. Just take the ankles, or even keep this foot down, be here, but just be lifted the whole time. You're lifting that cone. Okay, so I'll demonstrate the full thing, and then I'm going to do some modifications. When you're ready, take the bow and arrow. Bow arrow in the right hand, bow out to the left. Lift the cone, lift the cone. Take a few breaths. Remember, you could have your heel down. Remember, you could be holding your ankle, your knee, even just the thigh. Anything's good. as long as your cone is lifted. It's like the foundation of this pose. And then take the legs in. When you relax, you can take the legs down if you want, shake out, release, and then take your bow and arrow swap hands. Lift the cone. And then bring the legs in again. Release, shake out. We're going to do both legs out if you want. You don't have to, just do what you can. Keep lifting that cone. And then you've got the option when you're ready to come down. We'll stay here if you want rest, but when you're ready to come down, you have the option of just crashing down, keeping the ankle, the foot flexed, so that the toes are bent right back in towards your body. Don't start trying to point your toes, keep the toes right in towards the body, and that way you'll land on your calves and not your heels. And if it's too daunting, don't do it. But when you're ready, if you want to do it, just fall down nice and gently onto the floor and come forward, relaxing. Listen, don't worry about how far forward you can get. Think about how strong you are in the legs. Really grounded down into the sit bones, into the heels, keeping the legs strong. So not pointing the toes or turning the legs in. Keep them out and grounded. Push your hands and push yourself back. So you're almost pushing yourself away from the front of the mat. And just feel how grounded you feel. Feel how relaxed that is. Sinking down into the sit bones. Nice and soft. And start moving down gently. Keep moving towards the edge. And if you relax at the edge, the body will feel so comfortable that it will let the edge move. So you need to keep moving with it. Blowing up the belly like a balloon as you inhale. Eventually, at the stage where you're kind of stretching the arms out. Just relax, release. Keeping the hands nice and strong. And gently walk the hands back slowly, come up gradually. Thank you for looking at your toes. Everybody thinks we're weird. And gently, slowly, release. Bring the legs in slowly. You're going to come up to standing, but just take your time, slowly, slowly, slowly. Start to move. And then cross the legs and come forward. You come onto the toes. Yeah, coming onto the toes, just sink back. And just stretch out the ankles, stretch the calves. So you can see, just moving round and round, moving up the ankles. Stretching the calves. And then if you lean forward, can you see the toes? Just stretching. You can't see the legs. Stretching forward just to liven up all the nerve endings in the sole of the foot. You're such a good boy. What are you doing? You're down dog. So good at that. You're just made for that. And then we're just going to take the heels down and just hang. Relax the shoulders. Get the weight nice and even. Rocking back and forward on the feet till you get the weight nice and even. Spread the toes, relax down. And here. Don't lock out the legs, keep them slightly soft. And then bend the knees and take the arms up behind. Strong arms, strong legs. You're just going to start coming up and down nice and slow. At first, maybe take a breath halfway. The first time you come up to standing, we're going to come up nice and slow. You always got to hold my sock. Sorry about that. And just shake out. Shake it up a wee bit. And we're just going to bend the knees and come down. So from the side, it's this. And you're up. And stretch out. And down. Now up. Just releasing. Relaxing. And one more down. And up. Stretching up. Push down into the soles of the feet. Just get the weight nice and even. And stretching up the sides. And stretch up the back body. So see if you can tip up onto the heels are coming up. But at the same time, it's like you're trying to push the heels down towards the floor. And feel that big stretch in the back body. And lengthen up the back body. Stretch, stretch. Tall, tall, tall. And release, just stick the hands on the head. Shrug the shoulders. In and out. Through the head. Shrug the shoulders up and down, so up and then drop. Lift and drop. There's an active part of this and a passive bit, the active bit, and then it flops. It's just gravity. Releasing shoulders. And then swing the arms forward and back, just releasing the biceps and the triceps, palms facing each other. Stay here. And then just take the feet maybe a little bit wider than hip width. And let's release the spine around and round. So watch the hips are not moving too far around. So if you have your feet flat and you start trying to twist your hips really, as far as you can, this knee is going to twist. So you need to keep the knee soft and keep the hips facing more or less to the front. And maybe just take the weight a little bit further back onto the heels. Feel that just stretching out, releasing the spine. This is going to release the lower half of the spine, the lumbosacral spine. So it's the lumbar spine there, and the pelvis and the sacral spine. Down at the bottom. Sacral. Also helps your digestion. So again, we're coming back to that. It's the digestive fire, the agni. Most important thing ever in your whole life. Maybe I've exaggerated there, but it's so important. It's really beyond the end all of your health and well-being, mental and physical. Let's just do a few more. Good measure. And slowly bring it back in. And check it. Well done. Okay, I think I'm going to do some sun salutes. 39 minutes, half an hour gone. What are you saying? You want out? Maybe you want out, sorry. Everybody revolves around these dogs, eh? So that's me and that's Harry Styles. What does that tell me? That's pure coincidence. Sun salutes. Come towards the front of the mat. So my feet are about hip width apart. So please inhale, stretch. And exhale, bend the knees and stretch. And then take the hands down and step back. Let's do this from the side. Step back into plank. Okay, so you've got options with plank. You can be on your knees. One option is not to take the elbows out like this. So make sure the elbows are in. And if you can't do that with your feet down here, then take the knees down. Yeah. And push the heels away. So you can see my heel is pushing away from the body. Can you come down into a low plank from here? If not, come onto the knees. So that's your low plank, keeping the elbows in. Then touch the knees, chest and chin down, take a breath. And I'm going to push forward. So for here, this might be quite intense if this is your first practice of the day. So an alternative would be just to stay with the elbows down in a Sphinx pose. So elbows are under the shoulders, and then observe what happens when I shrug my shoulders up to the ears. It's a lesser back bend. So if I roll the shoulders back towards each other and then slide the shoulders down the chest, feel that lift, look at that. That's much, much, much more back bend. If it's too much, take the elbows to the sides or out in front and just bring it back down to where you can manage. And then just come down. I'm going to do a few rounds of these. So push back, stretch back. Just really slow back. And come back into down dog, pushing into the hands, rolling the shoulders open, stretch the upper body. Think about the upper body in down dog. Don't worry about the legs being straight or the heels being down, just stretch the upper body. And you can start walking the dog. Better not say that or the way Harry will start jumping up and down. Thinking it's time. Push, lengthen. And then take both heels down towards the floor, lengthen the low back, stretch both sides of the waist up. And then just jump forward or step forward. So that's your options. Or just step forward actually for the demonstration. Just step forward. And then bend the waist, sweep the arms up, relax the neck down, and slow come back up. Maybe take 2 breaths to get up. And inhale and exhale the arms down. Shall we go again? Don't shake out, take a breath. Yeah, I'm going to stay here side on. So I think it's important that you can see the down dogs and things like that. Okay, inhale. Soft knees, bend the knees, exhale forward. And again, take the hands down, step back into your low plank. And then into your standard plank, then your low plank. See if you can take an extra breath in low plank. If not, don't worry. And then knees, chest and chin. Release the shoulders. And this time, just let's explore some options for this. So if you're happy in your Sphinx, stay in your Sphinx. If you want to come up a bit, come up a bit. And then if you want to do a bit more, roll the shoulders. See what happens when you roll the shoulders, lift up. And then on your toes and hands, you can, if you want, come into upward facing dog, where the only things that's touching down is your palms of your hands and your feet. So you ready? 1, 2, 3, lift. And then shrug the shoulders up. Lift. Lower. Just do a couple more. Lift. So remember, everything's optional except breathing. Just as long as you're breathing. And then lift and hold if you want. You could be lying on your tummy here if you want. You could be in your Sphinx. And then down, roll the shoulders. And let's just touch down onto the chest. You can take your hands here forehead down, or turn your head side on and rest. And then bend the knees up onto your elbows. Just go side to side. Right. And then just take the feet down so you're resting. Let me see, just so you're resting. Just change that angle. So yeah, lying down and taking the feet out to the side so that you're resting on the inner part of the ankle. So that might not touch right down, but just do what you can and just feel that nice stretch around here. Just nice deep breaths. And lift. Bring the hands down, turn the feet, then roll the shoulders. And lift up, and sit back, stretching the spine. Elbow of dog, just releasing the low back. And then rest on the tops of the feet. And just get yourself down. And as much of an arch in the back in this direction as you can. And just take the hands down the shoulders. Release the neck. Push yourself up slowly. We'll come back up to standing. We'll do a little bit of a standing sequence, which should work all the internal organs. So again, still good for that good old digestive fire and our immune system. So come up slowly, curling the arms and toes, push back, forward, push down into the feet, bend the knees, slowly put the arms up, take the shoulder blades back towards each other, slowly come all the way up, big stretch, and push the hands down. So I think choose elbow again. I don't know how I can to do together our screen here. Okay, so just standing into the asana, let's check in with our posture, let's check in with our alignment. We want that alignment, we want to feel the weight is all even across all points of the feet. If you lean forward, then you're tensing in the back. If you're leaning back onto the heels, you're tensing in the front. So you can tell by how much pressure you're going to get some biofeedback. And make sure you're not standing on something that's too soft and spongy, or you won't get that feedback. But so you should feel how much pressure is under the heel and the ball of the foot. And just try and get that sense that you're balanced, and also as you move back and forward, you might feel things start to tense up. And forward, I feel a little tiny bit of tension here, and a bit in the back of the legs, coming back. Feel it right up here. So yeah, a bit of core work switching on here, which is good, but at the same time you don't want to be standing all out of kilter. The amount of time that you spend standing, walking, and you're balanced, then you put so much pressure and tension on the body. Tune into your breath. Push down into the feet, roll the shoulders, arms down, hands towards the floor. Lengthen up the back of the body, every vertebrae, one after the other, lengthening up the back of the neck and out through the crown of the head. Pulling the head back slightly so the ears are around the bar of the shoulders. And then just gently open the eyes, shake out. Rotate the right leg out to the side. So not too far, just there's a little baby one to start. And the thing to watch for here is if you try and get your foot at right angles and you try and get your hips facing that way, then you can see a bend in my knee there, I think. So I've done that, I've got my foot at right angles and I've got my hips facing the front, but it's the knee that's taking it. I mean, I don't have the degree rotation in the hips, most people do not. So if you try and rotate that out, it'll just deflect down to the knee and then further down to the ankle if it was a real extreme. So you can either turn the hips so that the knee is tracking over the foot. So from here and way to here. Or you can turn the hips and turn the foot as well. And that way you're bending, when you are bending, you're bending over the foot. So you're tracking over the foot. So just take a small step to start with. And all we're going to do, we're not bending the knee to start with anyway, but all we're going to do is just take the arm, stretch it back, left arm, stretch it back, stretch it up, and then drop it behind the head if you can. And just lean over and feel a nice stretch around the armpit here. So a big stretch right up the side and the armpit. So we're getting into these lymphatic drainage lymph nodes in the armpit here. And then from here, can you take your arms straight? If you can. It's not that big a deal. And then from here, straighten up that leg if you've bent it a little bit. And straighten the arms up vertically. Push down strongly into the feet. Push down as if you're squashing bubble wrap and you're having a competition. How many bubbles can I pop with my feet? One with my little toe, one with the tip of my little toe, quite a few with the big heel and the ball of the foot. And then we're going to turn down. So we're twisting the body down and turn this back leg, turn it to face more into the front with just a slight rotation. And then come down, bend the knee, come down and push onto the front heel so that the weight is pushing into this back foot. Doesn't matter if you can't touch down, you can get blocks, you can use a wall, just grounding down into this back leg and then drop that front foot down and push strongly into the feet. Get your bubble wrap popping again. Pushing strongly into the legs. And then turn the back foot out to right angles. Or a little bit, maybe not quite right angles, but turn it out a bit more and bend the front knee. And I want you to check that your sacrum, your lumbar curve, isn't going to arch up as we come into warrior one. So you want to tilt it this way. So you can use your hands to kind of start encouraging that to come down as you lift up. So that it's nice and light in the shoulders, no effort here. Push down into the legs. Neutralize that lumbar curve. Push down into this back leg. And then this evolves and grows into a bit of a back bend when it's time, when it's ready. Doesn't have to be now. So relax in the shoulders and then come back up. And then just take your hand on your head as we turn. So we're coming back to right angles here and we're going to come to a warrior two. Remember what I said about the knee, it's not coming in here. Get yourself set up. Look across this hand. Nice vertical line. Then look across this hand. Push down. Push down into that bubble wrap again. And then take the hand down, lift the right arm, stretch, and over behind. Stretching that armpit. And then just come back. And come back. I'm really just hanging forward to kind of release from all that work that you've just done. So soft knees, just releasing the spine, releasing the shoulders. Some bubbling from the no. Okay. I think we've got a couple of minutes left. Let's do the other side, turn around. Again. Make sure you've got your alignment. Start off here, then take the arm up and behind. So I'll talk you through the options. So it's here, and then stretching the arm out for a few breaths, and then taking both arms up for a few breaths, pushing down. Back in a second.